Hello to all of my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy Midweek Wednesday. This reading is for the 11th of October through the 11th of November. Talking to you if you have Capricorn anywhere in your birth chart, even if you're on the cusp of Aquarius or Sagittarius, let's do it. See what your cards have to say, Capricorn. Let's go. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening here. Thank you to each and every one of you all who not only support my channel, but always send me text messages, letting me know how things are going on in your life and that these readings are really helping you. Thank you to all of you all and everybody who puts comments below, all of those. So let's get into it. All right. Two of Pentacles. Here we have the Ace of Swords, the Emperor card, the Five of Pentacles, the Hangman, and also the World card. All right, here we have the Two of Pentacles, right? So an additional stream of income is trying to come across your path, but you got to be careful about the energies that looking at the cards here, the Hangman, the Emperor card, the World card. Source is saying you got to be careful of energies where you may feel like, okay, I'm imagining things that some people really do have a God complex. Like some people really want me to bow down to them and worship them and treat them like they're your God. Source is saying to you, that's that very bullying energy. 1 minute they're warming up to you. The next minute they are just charging at you like a bull or a ram. Source is saying, you got to be careful. It's time to close out some cycles. So somebody may be saying, I need to financially get myself together so I can get as far away from certain types of energies. Just get myself together. People who sit around and talk trash about everybody else, and you're up next if they're not talking trash about you. So I do see an additional stream of income coming across your path just to get away from those types of spirits. And I see a breakthrough happening for you. But I can tell you this, looking at the cards here, Capricorn, somebody has already told you about them. Somebody has already told you about that type of energy. Like, you got to get away from them. They're a bully. They talk to you any kind of way. They treat you any kind of way. And somebody just didn't want to listen. But now you don't have a choice but to hear loud and clear. So, because you're that close to when you're that close to opening up your vault door, and that some people are taking advantage of, like, how can I ride Capricorn's coattails? That can be real hard, especially when it's family members. And you're like, man, I really wish I could bring them along with me. But I'm having this anxiety. It's like being so close you can reach out and touch it. And you don't know where that anxiety comes from. So let me help you with this. When you sit down, as the moon is moving through these zodiac signs, it currently is in Virgo, right? Sit down and put together a list of pros and cons. It objectively, let's say they're not family, right? Pros and cons with their type of energy. Would you have them a part of your life? It doesn't matter who it is. If they were not family members or like family members, when you sit down objectively, would they, and put together a list of, is your life pleasing with them in it? Is it a life that you love, right? Is it a life that you enjoy having them in your life? Is it a beautiful life with them, right? Do you feel like your life is aesthetically pleasing with them in it, right? And so when we're talking about family members, we're also talking about energies that you want to build a family with them. Is it you're going to have to just decide. If it wasn't somebody that you were sexually attracted to, or, if it wasn't family or whatever, when you sit down and put that list of pros and cons together, can you see yourself being in a life where they're bullying, they impulse behavior? Can you see yourself going through that for years? Whether it's loved ones or somebody that you think you want to build a family with. And that's your answer right there. That's your answer right there. So even if it was a job, if you were working at a job and you had a manager who was constantly banging on the keyboard and cussing everybody out, how long do you think you would stay on that job? Because you look around and they still haven't been fired yet. How long do you think before something bad is going to happen? And that's what Source is trying to tell you. That's what Source is trying to tell you. People sitting around talking trash and gossiping about people, messing up your money, and you still connected to those types of energies? Somebody must be under some kind of a spell. So here we have Nine of Swords, the Four of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and also the King of Pentacles. Source is trying to make you very wealthy without those types of energies. You ever hear, you say, a lot of times people think spell work means that people are sitting at home and, with a book open, a witch book open, and they saying stuff over and over and over again. So let me help somebody understand. Have you ever heard a song that's somehow you just can't get the lyrics out of your head? It's like I just keep singing this song over and over and over again. That's a spell. I just can't, for some reason, every time I just can't just catch myself saying it over and over and over again. But look how many times you hear it over and over and over again on social media. How many times you hear it just playing. It's a spell. Listen to the lyrics of that. Source is saying to you, it's the same thing when somebody keeps saying the same thing, talking trash about people. You're never going to be anything. You're never going to. You remember the movie Five Heartbeats where the guy's father looked at him and said, I'm not Ish, so you're not going to be Ish. He was actually saying, he kept saying this so much. This guy actually was under that kind of a spell, so he got himself kicked out of the group. It was all kinds of stuff that was going on. But anyway, Source is saying you're about to break the mold because you're about to be very wealthy. If you can just release that mindset, that broken mindset of being around people that they got to blow towards you to inspire you. If they're not encouraging you, and I'm talking about not being fake and phony on social media, family members, oh, we appreciate you, this and that. But then when they get you by yourself, they threatening you. I want you to buy me a house when you get your first month. You don't owe anybody anything. No, nobody. Source is saying your money, I see your money growing. I see your money growing. So you're getting to King of Pentacles. So Source is saying to you, your life is about to change. Somebody set a trap for you that thought they were going to strong arm you or bully you into something. You're closing out the cycle and your life is about to change. But they've been a nightmare in your life. The energy has just been a nightmare in your life. This is a Nine of Swords. And so it's time to move on. You have a lot of wisdom and knowledge that you've gained. I'm telling you, people who genuinely love you and your family would not expect for you to buy them a house, car, none of those things, because they too know their sources within them. And they're divine spirit who's having a human experience. The sources said, don't even overthink this. Don't even overthink it. Just be more conservative with your time. And again, multiple streams of income is coming across your path. Live your life. Whoever you are, source is saying, live your life. These are the same cards right here. This is live your life. You're not waiting around for an inheritance. When source is saying, you're about to see more money than you've ever seen in your life. Who's inherit just to be up under somebody who is telling you that's dangling something over your head and trying to bully you at the same time and manipulate you and play all kinds of games and blow towards you and burn you out and all of that? Nope, not when you can go out here and get it yourself. That's what source is trying to tell somebody. Your money is about to be nice. Very, very nice. So I feel like somebody came in like in a let me see. I feel like somebody may have come from a family where people dangle promises of leaving inheritance over people's heads just to control them. As a way of controlling, getting you to do what they want. Again, only take what resonates with you. But you breaking the generational cycle chains and curse, somebody put a bug in your ear that you don't have to stay connected to that. Because it's just as plentiful. Money is just as plentiful as the amount of trees out here. Because that's where they're making the money from, the paper, from the trees. So when you recognize, sources saying all that trash that people have been talking about other people and how they're not going to make it and they must be crazy out of their mind and how dare them dream that big, and how people hate on people who have earn their money from the ground up. People hate on that. Oh, that person is crazy to dream that. Why don't they just go get a regular job and such and such and such? Like, you're crazy to have that dream of starting a business and having a successful one at that. right? And so somebody put a bug in your ear. You must have been around somebody that says, no, you can dream beyond that. You can have multiple streams of income and use that money to help change other people's lives. And so that's all somebody needed, was like, just all you need is one person in your ear to say, hey, you can do it. It's out here for you to get. So if somebody's been sending you videos and saying, hey, listen, instead of me waiting around for somebody else to drop money and wait for somebody to drop dead or die and leave me an inheritance or whatever, I'm going out here and getting it on my own. That's all it takes, is one person to say it. Just one. Somebody who had either in your family that says, hey, I'm not waiting around for somebody to die when I can make my own money. I'm out here living my own money. I'm not coming to... That's what I'm saying for somebody. There's definitely going to be some resentment, from people who are, again, feeling like they got to wait around for somebody to die before they get some kind of an inheritance. You definitely get some hate from people in your own family. Why do you want to start that kind of business? Why don't you just go get a regular job, live a quiet life? It's nothing wrong with living a quiet life, and it's certainly nothing wrong with getting a whatever a regular job even means. There's nothing wrong with that. But our purpose on this planet is to help each other, right? So congratulations to somebody who opened up their own vault and left behind a certain type of mindset, that, all you need is just a little bit to help yourself. So it's just saying, it's literally, everybody has something in them that could change people's lives. Literally can change people's lives, even if you're volunteering at a homeless shelter or volunteering somewhere, if changing people's lives, like putting that energy out into the universe. That's the kind of heart somebody has. So again, I'm not just talking about paper and coins money, even though King of Pentacles is the wealthiest card in the deck, and that is currency, like a lot of currency, like nice big bank account currency. But it's also recognizing that you earned this. So you planted seeds. You planted seeds. Somebody in your bloodline is encouraging you. They have really inspired you. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards. So here we have the Seven of Wands, the Five of Cups. We have the Knight of Cups, the La Luna, the Temptations card. Not the Temptations, like the singing group. Not the Temptations, but here we also have the Queen of Pentacles, right? So maybe you got somebody in your life that's like, you see them, they kind of put those feelers out there and they're out here doing it. They're liberated and they feel free. They're out here doing it. And so maybe that's where you're kind of sort of modeling yourself after. But definitely things from your past will try to resurface. Tricky relationships from the past will try to resurface. Exes trying to come back into your life. Family members trying to overwhelm you with their mess, trying to come back in your life, trying to bully, strong arm you, trying to overwhelm you, trying to manipulate you, all of that other stuff. Sources say none of it is going to work. Here's the Temptations card. So you may be tempted to sit there and think about all of that, but sources saying close out the cycle, airtight, close them out, because they're looking for you to save them financially. Before I pulled this card, remember I said, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything except thank you. Thank you for doing the best job that you could. So here we have the Five of Cups. So sources saying stop lamenting over it. Stop lamenting over the past and how you nervous that, certain energies are trying to resurface and how they're trying to strong arm you or bully you or overwhelm you to some degree, because sources saying something in your spirit is going to like a lightning, like a strike of just like a match went off and says, okay, if I want to live this kind of life, I need to get up and work for it. I really need to work for it. So that's what I see, somebody being able to defend their decision to move on from something without coming across as defensive at all. Without coming across as defensive at all. So let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have. You're just dealing with some people who are just straight up lazy. There's no other way I can say it. They just lazy. Or they like riding the coattails off of everybody else that's out here working and making their money. They got every excuse under the sun, right? Buy me a house, buy me a car, buy me this, buy me that. I did this for you. I did that for you. Okay, thank you. So And that's not even you being selfish, but after a while, it's not even a willful act. That's what I'm saying here. It's not even a willful act. Like if I want to buy you a house, a car, or pay off something for you, at least let me surprise you. Like let me help you. Like don't try to guilt me into something. So I do see, like I said before, I do see some inspiration in your cards. That's what I'm saying. I see somebody who was inspiring you, Capricorn. So congratulations for, just like I said, I see you about to be booked and busy and not burdened at all. Here's the Ten of Wands. Not burdened at all. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the World card. Again, is that the World? Yeah, World card came out twice. The Nine of Swords. We all have the Five of Swords. And the Two of Swords. Yep. Somebody had on blindfolds. They didn't want to believe something at first as it relates to somebody, people that you love. And love could be erotic love, and it can also be platonic love. It's a certain type of energy that always expects people to do stuff for them. They have this sense of entitlement. That's the word I'm looking for. Loved ones who have that sense of entitlement. People you dated who have that sense of entitlement. They don't want to go out there and help you make this have a wealthy lifestyle because they don't have that mentality. If they can't take, like, a gold digging mentality. And that's not gender specific. So I do see you closing out cycles and going out here. I'm talking about, I see somebody like literally in stealth mode out here just getting it. That's what I see. And so source is going to send an opportunity. The source is sending money across your path. And that should be the thing. That should be takeoff time. That should be like, okay, that's the sign I needed to go ahead and take off. Don't complain about the amount. Don't complain about, this. I thought it was going to be more. Source is like, be a good steward over this. Let me know you can manage this. And I'm about to open up the floodgates of wealth for you. A lot of times people say, I thought it was going to be more. Is that what you asked for when you put it out in the universe? That's why I always tell people, be deliberate and intentional about what you're asking for. So if you just say, hey, I just want a job, and they give you the lowest entry level, whatever, you could have gone directly to source and said, source, you know what? I want whatever the amount of money that you want. So here we have Nine of Swords. Somebody is definitely in a nightmare situation right now. It's just been a nightmare. Things are not happening. Two situations in particular, it's just been a nightmare. And Source is like, you're going to have to dig real deep and come out of the woe is me and get into stealth mode. So that's what Source is saying. Somebody's about to be very wealthy. Reputation is like people hold you in very high regard. I see somebody being a lot more conservative with your thoughts in terms of, making money. Because again, it's not just, I got to make all of this money for myself and hoard it like I'm on the show Hoarders. This is, I have something to do. I'm about to change people's lives. That's what I'm saying for somebody. I now know what my purpose is. I can't be around bullying, strong arm energies that feel entitled to, my blood, sweat, and tears. So congratulations, Capricorn. Congratulations. I do see somebody traveling. And then with your travel, what's interesting is what's going to happen on somebody's travel is that you're going to meet people that the same exact thing has happened to them with loved ones, like this sense of entitlement, right? Like people have invited them places only for them to write a check to their organization. People have invited them out because they knew when the bill comes, they're going to ask, people are going to ask them or expect for them to pay for the same sense of entitlement. But Source is saying, if you can get it together right now and learn how to say no unapologetically, if you want to invite me to something, you're not expecting for me. You're inviting me because of my spirit, not because of what kind of size check I can write. So that's what Source is trying to get somebody involved in, right? So you're somebody's gonna recognize see who their real friends are when you start saying no when it comes to money. When it comes to money, somebody's about to find out. It's a lot of people are going to scatter, but it's going to be a lot of, gold digging energies that are going to scatter. So stop telling people how much money you have. Stop telling people that you're expecting this kind of amount of money to come. Stop telling people about money. Stop making yourself a target. The Source is going to make you very wealthy. So if people want to be your friend, they don't know anything about how much money you have unless you tell them, unless you pulling up in this kind of car or coming up in this kind of house or whatever. And then you'll start to see your circle change too. So I see you lightening your scales. So this, the For one, you're leaving the energies from the past. You're leaving some energies behind in the past. That's one. Two types of energies that's been overwhelming for you in the past. And this scale right here, scales of justice, you have these two bowls on this holding, on this scale, these two scales. Source is saying to you, we have a solar eclipse and Libra. That's this card right here. And Libra is a peaceful warrior sign. I'm protecting my peace of mind. So I had to learn the hard way that I got to stop telling people I can pay for this. I got this coming up and I'm going to pay these people this amount of money and I'm going to give them that. I got to stop hanging around people who have a lack mentality. This is not about wearing designer this and how much you pay for this and how much you pay. It's a mentality. I got to stop hanging around those types of people. The energy is contaminating, right? I want to be around some people who dream big, people who are doing something that's the humanitarian coming out. They may be multi-billionaires or multi-millionaires, but look how many schools they're creating. Look how many water filtration systems they're putting in. Look how many organizations they're building and donating to, paying for people's college education. Like, look what they're doing. Look at the work that they're doing with the resources that they have. So this is not just money for just you. Source is about to make somebody very, very wealthy. And it's harvest time for you to start planting seeds of discernment and wisdom and knowledge so that you'll know why people really want to be connected to you. Because money attracts everything. In case somebody haven't figured it out. Yep. Here we have the 5 of coins. Yep, the 5 of coins. You hear people say things like when they're down and out, and they tell a loved one, hey, you know what, I just need a place to stay, and I'm expecting a big, payday from this lawsuit or something that I have coming in, or whatever. That family member may say, oh yeah, you can sleep on my couch or you can stay here. But if you didn't tell them that you had some money and that you just fell on hard times and that you wouldn't be there for more than 6 months, see how they act. See what they would say. Stop telling people about money that's coming your way. So right now, Source is going to hold up somebody's money until they move on from something, because it was never meant for certain types of energies. Because you're a sign that sometimes you need to see the physical existence of things, right? And then when it cuts that deep, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see it. So and so was trying to tell me X, Y, and Z, but I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. And now I'm stuck in a situation. Source is saying, do the upfront work. Stop talking about money. Just stop yourself from talking about money, because it's too much trying to come in, and Source is trying not to make you a target. Want to stop talking about it so that you're not making yourself a target. Yeah, so somebody has been stubborn. Somebody's just been still talking about stuff. They won't stop themselves. So Source is trying to take you from 5 of Wands to 10 of Wands. 5 of Wands is a person who is kind of like at a, their demons easily irritate them, right? So Source is saying, I'm trying to make you booked and busy and not burdened at all. So here we have the Knight of Wands. The only person that can save you is you. It's time to break up the monotony and stop telling people what you're about to do, and just learn how to keep some things close to the cuff. Right? So here we have the Page of Cups. So Source is sending you some fresh cup of water, some fresh creativity, So if you're getting good news about something that's happening and people have showed you a track record that all they looking for is this, all they looking for is what they can get from it. Oh, we rubbing our hands together. Everybody is happier because they're eating off of you. Source is saying, stop telling people that, because you're making yourself a target. This is coming through like really strong in the cards, because money is trying to come in. So it makes for great conversation until you realize that certain people only come around when it benefits them financially. Some people only want to work with you. Some people only help you when it's benefiting them financially. So let us see. So like I said, continue planting seeds of discernment. So some money is coming through soon. Don't complain about the amount. So this will be a great time for you to open up your mouth and say, start listening to some of those money attraction videos about how to attract abundance, that is coming from every area of your life so that you can complete whatever mission or task that you said you wanted to complete. So this will be a great time for you to do that. There's tons of money attraction videos online. And again, the money is not just for you, it's for whoever it is you're helping. Because I feel like with somebody's big heart, you're definitely trying to do something to better mankind. So while you're asking for an attorney, you're asking for an accountant, so you're asking for a business manager, you're asking for employees because you're trying to change everybody's life, right? So not just people who are just sitting there with their hands stuck out, extraordinary. There is a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. Yep. Yeah, so somebody is definitely... If people know how much money you have, they will also try to blackmail you too. That's what I'm saying here in the past. They'll feel like they have something they know about you and they'll try to use against you. So, sacrifice, 36. That's what I'm trying to help to prevent somebody from being a sacrifice. 36, you must find the ebb and flow of life within your very self. Embracing it all is embracing the truth. So it's heartbreaking when somebody feels like that somebody really isn't your friend or friends unless they're making money off of you, Capricorn. But the sooner you focus on learning the lesson to stop talking about money and how you got this going on and that's going on and such and such and such and such, again, it makes for great conversation. But sometimes it's good to just sit back and be quiet. For real. Sometimes it's just good to sit back and be quiet because people are listening. And some of those people sitting back listening are listening to sabotage. Who did they say they were working with? They want to make sure you don't get it before they get it. But Source is still cleaning house. Source is still cleaning house. So 8. Money exchange number again. Chanting. That's right. Sit down somewhere. Visualize wealth coming to you. Again, there's tons of videos on YouTube. Tons of videos on YouTube because somebody's trying to do something to change other people's lives. I don't see this as and I know a lot of people they hear the word money and they just are instantly turned off because people have taken advantage of you for so long when it comes to money that it's a resource. It literally is just a resource. It's just energy like everything else is energy. So the better you start having relationship with it and stop speaking lack into the universe, like I would do this if I just had this, you already have it. So this is where you're thanking Source in advance. It's just coming to you from all sides. And Source is just exposing everybody in your life right now. So a time to give rather than a time to take. This is connected to Virgo, the moon in Virgo. You already have the questions for the moon in Virgo. So here's the questions for the moon in Libra as you continue to embark on this peaceful life. A peaceful life without people knowing how much you have in your bank account. They don't see what you're wearing, how much you're wearing on your clothes, how much you're wearing here and there, unless you're in those circles, right? So Source is saying, don't set yourself up to be a target no matter where you go. Don't set yourself up for being a target. So I do see somebody traveling. First question is your work bringing more peace, justice, beauty, and harmony to the world? And then how could you amplify that? So it's your work. That's why I see all over this that somebody really is a humanitarian at heart and really want to change people's lives. See this crab energy right here? This is the crab symbol is Cancer, and Cancer is the mother of the Zodiac sign, right? The energy of money has always been attracted to you, but Source had to sort of get the energies out of your life that saw you as a cash cow. They only wanted to be friends with you because somehow they were making money off of you. If they can work you to the bone and get whatever they needed out of you to make some kind of money. But see, it's not going to be fruitful because of their intention. Second question is, what would happen if you spent more time with people who are completely at peace with themselves? They're not always talking about how they can get their hands on money. Because they're living a peaceful existence. They're not always looking over their shoulders because they did something crazy to get money from somebody. So they constantly living in this, I got to look over my shoulders because I screwed over so many people. Third question is, do you receive as much as you give or vice versa? Fourth question is, which small steps could you take to create more beauty in your space? And then last but not least is, what would happen if you were to shift from complaining to a permanent sense of gratitude? 28. I am a leader. And they see it all over you. People know that you are a leader. They know that you are a person who is a great manager of people, money, and time, right? So be a great manager. I'm serious. Stop talking about money. In an effort to accomplish great things, you recognize the value of working with others. You make a capable and compassionate leader who can bring people together and drive a team toward achievement. So let people get to your team, on your team, Capricorn, and talk about grants and how they can, find free money without you having to always come up with, like, let people learn how to put their heads together so they don't see you as the wallet walking in the room. Because Source is about to make sure if you can just release some energies who have used you in the past for what they could get from you, if you can get rid of those types of energies, watch, you're going to see a whole different world, a kind of world open up to you. Source is going to put a different type of energy. It's trying to put a different type of energy around you. Somebody is just, like I said, this right here is emotional wounding. I can't believe somebody talked a bunch of trash around me. This is trash. I can't believe they let people talk trash around about me. Okay, believe it. It was never meant for them to go to that vault door with you. I can't believe they don't believe in me. They're not your God. They're not supposed to. You believe in you. That's it. That's all. That's it, and that's all. So yeah. And, as you're closing out cycles and you're tempted to continue, focusing on, I got to prove to people that I'm going to be wealthy one day. Who are those people? It's like a person trying to keep up with the Joneses. There's a movie actually with, what's the actor's name? He used to play him in this other, what was the name? It was like a sci-fi TV show a long time ago. But anyway, this guy he and the family, it's called Keeping Up with the Joneses. You all can Google it, right? And so none of the family members were actually related. Like the husband and wife, they were actors, the kids were actors. And the way that these companies, how they would get paid is that they were literally walking advertisements. Their last name was Jones, right? So every neighborhood they moved into, they would have on the latest clothes. They would have the latest technology, the latest golf clubs, the latest car. But they were literally walking advertisements. And everybody in the neighborhoods, wherever they moved to, was like, oh, how'd you get the latest? That hasn't even come out yet, so on and so. And they were always telling people, oh, you can get it for this amount of money, and I can hook you up with my person, and they can help you get X, Y, and Z. So they were making a lot of money for the companies. But unfortunately, one of the neighbors was trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? And it had a really, really bad ending because he could not afford that same lifestyle. He didn't even realize that these were just actors. And that's when the family realized we're actually ruining people's lives by this facade, putting up this. So my point to you all is that the more and more you attract people by being the person that's holding the wallet or the pocketbook or the checkbook or whatever the case may be. You got to keep that same kind of energy up. People start to become entitled. They start to really believe that we resent Capricorn because they have what we don't have, but they got to pay their way into everything. So Source is saying, get used to loosening up a little bit, finding out how to nurture yourself, like what nurtures Capricorn. So when you're going around people, you can have just as much fun as everybody else, and you're not leaving with your money just like, wow, I cannot believe I just, signed up for something that I got a 30-year payment on, because, and everybody's looking at me like, oh, see that right there is a walking dollar sign. That's a walking bank right there. So that's what Source is trying to get somebody to. So wherever it is you're going next, Source is saying, make sure you're not making yourself a target. There's something that you had to learn from all this heartbreak and deep disappointment. Because even if you're not making the money, people will invite you because they think your parents have it, or they think that somehow you got this well of cash somewhere that they can always dip into. But the sincerity of being your friend, they're not really your friend. So Source is saying, learn your lesson. Affirmations for joy. I was created for a purpose. Great things happen to me each day. My very presence is a blessing. I believe in myself. Joy is a choice, and I choose joy. Greater is coming. I am enough. That's right. You've always been enough, but people will let source expose people. Let source expose people for thinking that you're never gonna be wealthy, that you're not business savvy. That let source expose people. So that's what I have for you, Capricorns. Like I said, get away from those energies, a sense of entitlement. They're never going to apologize for taking advantage of you. They're never going to own up to what they said or what they did, because it just, in their mind, they're entitled to it, and they will get it however they feel like they can get it from you. If they can bully you, manipulate you, lie on you, lie to you, lie under you if they have to get it, they'll do anything if they feel like you have some money. So sources like, pay them in dust and move on. Don't go backwards. That's what I have for you, and I will see you all on Freedom Friday. Bye.